Choosing a musical instrument. Have you ever thought about taking up a musical instrument? Here's a perfect guide for you. Many people would like to learn how to play a musical instrument, but they are put off by one big problem. Put off means they feel they don't have the motivation to do that. Okay, they have one big problem: what to play. So they don't know what kind of musical instruments they can try. Here are a few questions to help you decide. What kind of music do you like? Many instruments are flexible, but some are more suited to certain types of music. Although there is some classical range for the saxophone, for example, people associate it more with jazz, and it is not a permanent feature of many orchestras. So permanent means fixed. Some instruments may contribute themselves better than others to do the music you like, so consider this before you start. Do you want to play with other people? You want to play solo or do you want to play in groups? Think about your long-term future as a musician. If you want to play with other people, what sort of instrument would be most practical? The initial attraction of playing a dazzling solo instrument like trumpet, violin, flute, or lead guitar might fade when you realize how many other people are competing with you to get the main part with the same instrument. So other people might also play the same instrument with you. So if you want to play solo in your group, you have to compete, bersaing with other people. If you want to play rock music, there will always be a demand for bass players or drummers. And if you fancy being part of an orchestra, the trombone is a great bet to make sure you're always needed. Where are you going to practice? Do you have a proper place to play the musical instrument? So many people live in flats and practicing the drums, for example, will drive your neighbors crazy. They will get very angry if you are being too noisy with your musical instruments. Think about where and when you are going to practice, as well as the patience of the people you live with or near. Okay, can your family be patient with all the noise you make? Electric versions of instruments like the piano, drums, guitar, and even violin give you the option of playing into the night using headphones while your housemates sleep in peace. Alternatively, you may need to consider going to a school or a community center to practice. How much money can you spend? What is your budget? This is quite a big factor. A lot of instruments can be purchased in different price ranges. Different price ranges means some can be very cheap, some can be very expensive. For example, if you want to buy a guitar, you can find a very cheap guitar or very expensive ones, right? But this doesn't change the fact that many, such as the piano, are always pretty expensive. They are quite expensive. If you can't afford, means if you don't have enough money, if you can't afford your chosen instrument, will you be able to borrow someone else's or hire one? Okay, sewa. Are there any physical limitations? Limitations is height, things that you have to think about. Alright, if you are small and don't like lifting, mengangkat, if you are small and you cannot lift heavy objects, you won't want to carry around a double bass. Apart from that, use your common sense and don't let your physical shortcomings put you off. Your physical shortcomings means your weakness in your physical body. Maybe you are too small, you are too short, maybe you cannot lift certain musical instruments. Don't let your physical shortcomings put you off means you feel discouraged, you putus asa, disappointed, you have no motivation. Okay, who says small skinny people can't play the French horn? It's true that some wind instruments require a lot of lung power. French horn is a big one yang you kena tiup. So it's required a lot of lung power daripada paru-paru. But with the right coaching, if you get the proper training, everyone can develop the right technique. And still not sure? Talk to people you know who already play instruments. If you have friends or relatives who play guitar, you can ask about that to the person. They might even let you try theirs. Theirs here means their musical instrument. It's also a good idea to find an experienced music teacher, someone who has the experience, orang yang berpengalaman, preferably one who plays a few different instruments. Some people, they can play piano, they can play guitar, they can play many types of instruments. Okay, who can give you some advice and push you in the right direction. If you find an instrument you love and that suits your needs, you'll find the time spent choosing was well worth it. If you find an instrument you love, okay, when you work hard it takes time. The time spent choosing, it will take time. But if at the end, if you find a suitable instrument for you, it was well worth it. Berbaloi, tak sia-sia masa yang digunakan. Alright, so good luck with making your choice.